His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper, Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service, Mrs. Gloria Macfield-Nixon, President of the Civil Service Association, Mr. John Bothwell, Chief Officers, Department Heads, HR professionals, other senior managers, nominees for this year's Deputy Governor's Award, Chief Officer Choice recipients, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome to the Deputy Governor's Employee of the Year ceremony. Regrettably, the Honorable Premier and members of Cabinet are unable to join us for this most memorable occasion due to the ongoing session of the Legislative Assembly. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Lauren Knight, Acting Deputy Chief Officer for the Portfolio of the Civil Service, and it is my pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies tonight. We are here to celebrate the contributions of the 12 employees of the month, covering the period of January to December 2019, and who are now finalists for the prestigious Employee of the Year Award. Many of you may be aware that this ceremony was originally scheduled for early April. However, due to this little thing called, I'll let you fill in the blanks, it was postponed until tonight. Despite this, we're certain that tonight's ceremony will be enjoyable and memorable for all in attendance. Speaking of attendance, let us take a moment to celebrate our local victories in the fight against COVID-19. Those victories have allowed us to safely gather in this beautifully appointed ballroom tonight, while many countries around the world enter into a second or third lockdown. Were it not for the tireless efforts of civil servants, many of whom are in this room tonight, we may all have had to watch this ceremony via Zoom. I don't know about you, but I was absolutely overjoyed when I dug through my closet, dusted off my heels, painted my toenails, pulled my hair to the side, and paid someone to apply makeup so that I could be here with you tonight. Before we advance the program, I'd like to address some housekeeping matters. Firstly, if you have not done so already, please put your cell phones on silent. Secondly, if you have not already had something to drink, grab two. With a drink in each hand, you can't touch your face, which is a recommendation the CDC has been making since March. I would continue with another coronavirus joke, but I realize it may take you 14 days to get it. Okay. That's housekeeping complete. We can now move on with the program. On behalf of the Cayman Islands Civil Service, I would like to use this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, for introducing this remarkable award scheme. His undying passion and commitment for this program is admirable, and this very program allows us to showcase civil servants who strive daily to bring to fruition his goal of making the CIG world-class. To get to this point, the finalists were nominated by their chief officer, head of department, or a fellow civil servant, followed by being selected as the person who best represented the ministry, portfolio, or department for that month, receiving the Chief Officer's Choice Award. The Deputy Governor then reviewed the nominees or Chief Officer's choices for the given month and selected the Employee of the Month. Tonight's nominees come from diverse backgrounds, jobs, and departments, and were nominated under differing categories that align with the government's strategic goals. All were nominated for demonstrating unique, noteworthy, or admirable skills and characteristics. Tonight, one of the 12 nominees will be identified as the Employee of the Year and will receive a cash prize of $1,000, an engraved Employee of the Year Caymanite statue, and a framed certificate identifying him or her as the Employee of the Year. Additionally, he or she will have a platform to share their inspirational stories and will accompany the Deputy Governor to various speaking engagements. We also considered a 14-night Mediterranean cruise with a free COVID swab on day 15, but figured that would too closely resemble isolation at a CIG isolation facility, so we quickly abandoned that idea. So for now nominees, it's just the check, the trophy, their certificate, and some awesome bragging rights. Now it is the time in the program where we will invite someone up to sing for us. It has long been our tradition to seek the participation of one of our many talented civil servants to sing our national anthem and national song. At this juncture, I am elated to invite to the stage Mr. Eric Nicholson, an employee of the Cayman Islands Fire Service, to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. Please stand, and in keeping with protocol, please face the Union flag and the Cayman Islands flag, which I've noticed are missing. But we all have imaginations, so we'll go with that. Please remain standing for the national song, which will also be sung by Mr. Nicholson.
O land of soft, fresh breezes, of verdant trees so fair, with the Creator's glory reflected everywhere. O sea of palest emerald, merging to darkest blue. Whene'er my thoughts fly Godward, I always think of you. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming very soon. Oh, all to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland where Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget. Away from noise of cities, their fret and carking care, when moonbeam soft caresses, unchecked by garish care, thy fruits of rarest juices, abundant, rich, and free. When sweet church bells are chiming, my fond heart yearns for thee. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming very soon, oh beauteous isle to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland where Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget. When tide of all excitement and glamorous worldly care, how sweet thy shores to meet and find a welcome there. And when comes on the season of peace, goodwill to man, 'tis then I love thee best of all, beloved Isle Cayman. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming very soon, oh beauteous isle to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland where Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholson, for the beautiful rendition of both the national anthem and our national song. That is a true testament to the talent that exists within the civil service. I will now ask the president of the Civil Service Association, Mr. John Bothwell, to come to the stage and offer a prayer.
Thank you, Lauren. And on behalf of the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, thank you to all of you for coming here tonight to honor our outstanding civil servants. Now, please bow your heads and be respectful as we ask God to bless us gathered here, and especially our honorees tonight. Heavenly Father, all praise and honor to you tonight and at all times, as we strive always to do your will, to work towards your glory in heaven and your kingdom here on earth. Thank you for, and please continue to bless, tonight's honorees. May they continue to live in strength and grace. We thank you for and ask you for your wisdom and guidance on our governor and a deputy governor, our legislators and the chief officers and other leaders. We ask for your patience and your protection for all of our civil servants and all those, like our honorees tonight, who work quietly for the Cayman Islands. Dear God, thank you for the quiet workers who made tonight possible, the inviters and the organizers, and the decorators and the technicians, the hotel staff and the cooks and the servers and the cleaners, all of the essential workers. Help us to recognize, not just tonight, but throughout the year, the people who toil quietly to make our lives run smoothly, the people who work tirelessly to make our country better, the people represented here tonight by our nominees. Lord, we thank you for the example of our civil service awardees, for the women and men living by your example. As we honor them tonight, may we learn from them as well. For that, we ask your spirit of humility upon us tonight, God, that we recognize our honorees, not just for what they have accomplished and will accomplish, but for what they can teach us. Enrich our honorees' lives tonight, God, as they have enriched others over the years. Grant them your grace to enjoy tonight, dear God, as we talk about them, for they are people who work quietly in the background so that their country can shine. Grant us all your grace, God, to shun the hubris and noise which so often distracts us from what is important. Help our honorees to remind us tonight about what is important. 2020 has been a year of noise and distraction, God. Like your servant Elijah, we have felt the earthquake, and after the earthquake came the fire. We have forged through pestilence, and we have felt the powerful wind pass us by. But during all of these disruptions, there has been a gentle breeze lifting and protecting your people, O Lord, and we thank you for it. Tonight we thank you, O Lord, for the gentle breeze of these honored civil servants who blew in from 2019 to remind us of the quiet strengths of character as much as body, which you have bestowed upon your people, that you have bestowed upon us that we may serve our people. Thank you, God, for the honor of our service to others. And thank you particularly for our honorees tonight who exemplify the best of us. We are honored by them, by the work they have done and the grace which they have done it with. Thank you for them, God. May they continue to thrive in your grace and mercy. We commend the Cayman Islands to your care tonight, God, and likewise our honorees. Stand by them and strengthen them and hearten them. Be their strength as they are our strength. Thank you tonight, O God, for these honorees. We ask for your blessing upon them, and we honor them as the best of us. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Mr. Bothwell. I now invite the Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, to the stage to offer his remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I was just telling Miss Lauren how radiant she looked. I think you agree. Yes. For the first time in my life, I actually considered getting an earring. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. Please don't tell my wife that, okay? Yeah. And please don't tell her that I said what I'm about to say next, is that there's nowhere else I would rather be right now. Don't tell her that, okay? But look at where we are today, in a room full of amazing civil servants who make us proud. Trust me when I tell you, I'm a very proud deputy governor. It is a privilege for me to be head of the civil service. It really is. When I see the work that is done every day, night and day, 24/7, by our civil servants, I am very, very proud and grateful. I want to thank His Excellency the Governor for being here with us this evening. Sir, thank you for coming. The Premier did ask me to give his regrets as well, as they're all in the LA, and asked me to pass on his grateful thanks to all of you as well. So, Ms. Christine gave me the folder of all of those wonderful people, names and bios and all of the things, great things that were said about them in their nominations on Friday. And she says, DG, I really need an answer by Monday. And I'm like, really? You want me to work over the weekend? You know? And I did, and I read it over on Saturday. I read it over on Sunday. And I read it over again on Monday, because it is so difficult. You make my job really, really difficult in a very positive way, trying to decide one winner. Because really, all of you are winners. You have made us exceptionally proud. You have been amazing ambassadors. You have been role models. You have inspired us, and you have inspired me. Congratulations to all of you. I want to sincerely thank the portfolio of the Civil Service, Ms. Gloria McField-Nixon and her team, especially Ms. Christine and Ms. Tara, and all of those persons who really worked tirelessly to give us the Civil Service Oscars. Yeah. And I said to Ms. Christine, you know, I really want a lot of people to be here this evening. And she said, don't worry, DG, we're going to get a full house, and we have a full house. But, yeah, thank you, Ms. Christine. Because this is a very special occasion for us. Trust me, I looked around the room, and I looked outside, and I saw all of the smiles on your faces. I think people were just really happy to get out and about. And what Ms. Lawrence said is so true. This is not what's happening around the world. I was reading the news ticker at the LA this morning, where there's a record number of cases in the United States, records numbers around the world, and here we are. And that did not happen by accident. It happened because of the tireless effort of His Excellency, our Premier, the government, but then all of you who showed up to work every day, put your life on the line. Our police, our CBC, all our staff who were on the front line made that extra effort to keep us safe. When I would walk into the NAOC in the morning during the COVID, and Danny would say, how you doing, DG? And I said, oh, I'm fantastic. You know, but I really was. I wasn't making that up. And it was simply because of one reason. I knew that our civil service would step up, that we would not allow our country to fail. Again, folks, please don't take what we have achieved for granted. This could have gone horribly wrong, and we may not have been having this ceremony at all. Forget Zoom. So think about it and celebrate and thank the good Lord for getting us here today. I really mean that. Thank you very much. In closing, I really just, again, I want to recognize His Excellency. The governor and I have been together now for it's almost 2.5 years, sir? 2 years, yeah, it feels a bit longer. Yeah. But I do want to recognize the governor. He came here during some troubled times, and he has really steadied the ship. Your Excellency, thank you for being a great leader. Thank you for always motivating me and holding me to account. He does, trust me. You know, we have our conversations, but he has been a steady guiding force. And Governor, thank you very much. It means a lot to me, sir. Thank you. So I know we want to get the show on the road, so I'm going to pause here, and Ms. Lauren, let's get the action going. Thanks again.
Thank you, Deputy Governor, for your inspiring words. The Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, will once again grace us with his presence, joined by Chief Officer Gloria Macfield-Nixon, who will announce the 2019 winner of the Moment of Magic Award. This is the second consecutive year that such an award has been presented, and I'm made to understand that it will remain a part of the annual ceremony for the Deputy Governor's Award program going forward. Once the winner is announced, I ask that you kindly proceed to the front of the stage to accept your award.
Good evening, everyone. I think we can give our Master of Ceremonies a round of applause. She's been doing a fabulous job. So our Moments of Magic Award, and I heard everyone sort of catch their breath when Lauren mentioned that we were going to now have the 2019 winner, and I saw big smiles as you all thought, this is the fastest ceremony ever. Not quite. So our Moments of Magic Award is where we really reflect on individuals who have demonstrated the very best of our values, our passion, our integrity, our professionalism, and use those values and seize an ordinary moment and make it extraordinary. In 2018, we had a dancing policeman grace our stage and show how just seizing a moment can make a difference in the lives of those we serve. So we reflected on 2019, which really now seems so long ago. It seems like we faced so many once-in-a-lifetime events since then. We have literally had earthquakes, threats of tsunami, the middle of Grand Cayman was burning, schools closed, and roads were closed, and just as the men in uniform from our fire services department put out the blaze, a pandemic rolled in. Once-in-a-lifetime event, just one after another. And it feels like 2019 was literally 300 years ago. So I just want to say you all look amazing for being 300 years old, having faced not one, not two, but 3 once-in-a-lifetime events, and you're still standing and looking amazing. So as we look back on 2019, all 300 years ago, we were reflecting on what kind of individual really stands out. And something that came to mind as the Deputy Governor was really looking at this issue was, what is it that we really need as a civil service if we're going to make lives better? If someone asks, what does a world-class civil service do? The answer should be whatever its citizens and government require. So if that means we stand up hospitals, field hospitals, then we'll stand up a field hospital. If you want us to run hotels, we'll run isolation hotels. Greet people at airports, no problem. Well, in 2019, we had a demonstration of not just what one individual could do, but the power of the team. And we looked at what would an amazing team look like. Well, an amazing team might have amazing feedback and customer satisfaction from the people they serve, and this particular team does. An amazing team might also demonstrate consistent high engagement scores where everyone within the team is looking for ways that they can make lives better. And this team consistently has among the top engagement scores of any department in the civil service, and indeed rivals many high-performing organizations around the world. A high-performing team might, for example, receive recognition from their ministry. And this particular head of department has been recognized as being the top head of department within this ministry. A high-performing team might also receive recognition from those outside of the organization. And this particular team has received the Top Employer Award for a medium-sized business from our local HR society. A top-performing team might take that success and translate that into international recognition. And this particular team has also, on its first attempt, received a Gold Award in Investors in People, an internationally run organization that looks at organizations that have a clear sense of purpose and can translate its internal people management into good outcomes for its customers and into a sustainable business model. Such a team would receive a gold medal and on its very first attempt, but also go on next month to be considered for such a prize as one of the top businesses receiving such an award internationally. And so next month, we await the results because this team has demonstrated that they can do anything that they put their minds to because they're driven by their values of passion, integrity, and professionalism, and they are committed to their purpose of making lives better. It should not surprise you at this point that the team that I am talking about is none other than the Department of Commerce and Investment, led by Mr. Ryan Raj Kumar Singh. So I'm going to invite DCI and their fearless leader to the stage.
Chief Officer Jones, if you could come up as well. Yeah. I saw Mr. Jones.
All right. Ready? Okay.
Thank you, Deputy Governor and Chief Officer Macfield Nixon. I also take this opportunity to offer congratulations to the Department of Commerce and Investment for another great achievement. What a team. For a portion of 2019, this ministry was known as the Ministry of Human Resources and Immigration, but later became the Ministry of Employment and Border Control. This ministry has submitted a monthly nomination form for every month in 2019, and from what is known, has never missed a month since the inception of this program. We must therefore make special mention of Mrs. Brianna Ebanks, the Chief HR Officer in the ministry, who is the driver behind ensuring ministry employees are recognized and nominated. In formal recognition of Mrs. Ebanks, we ask the Honorable Deputy Governor to return to the stage and be joined by her. This ministry deserves a round of applause as this continues to be an awesome achievement, and guess what? They have not yet received competition from any other ministry or portfolio. Hint, hint. Consider this a challenge to other HR personnel. Thank you, Brianna. We have a total of 30 civil servants who were nominated as Chief Officers' Choices during 2019. And while they may not have been selected as one of 12 Employees of the Month, to be selected as a Chief Officer's Choice is an honor in itself. These select employees are bright, shining stars in their own right. I kindly ask those Chief Officer's Choice recipients who are in attendance tonight to please stand and be recognized and applauded. At this time, I invite the former Employees of the Year, who are seated together, to stand and be recognized. They are Mr. Nicholas McLean, Employee of the Year, 2012-2013. Miss Venice Tatum, Employee of the Year, 2013-2014. Miss Gidget Powell, 2014-2015. Mr. Philbert McFarlane, 2015-2016. Mrs. Aubrey Bodden and Miss Tristica Ebanks, dual winners for the 18-month period of July 2016 to December 27. And while he is not here with us tonight, I still wish to acknowledge Mr. Levi Allen, the recipient for 2017-2018. These civil servants continue to make outstanding contributions and are sterling examples of what it is to be world-class. Thank you. We are so grateful to have such a high caliber of professionals among us. We extend a special welcome to Miss Venice Tatum, who perhaps is the most well-traveled of 2020, having come all the way from Cayman Brack. Miss Venice, it's a shame that none of the nominees tonight work at the passport office because you must be running out of pages in that little book. Okay, and with that, we move right into the main event. Courtesy of the Government Information Services Video Unit, we will now have a video presentation that will allow us to hear from each of tonight's nominees. However, before we hit play on each video, I will provide a brief overview of each nominee's role in the government, as well as share some details of their nomination. Nominees, you're asked to stand once your name has been called, and once the video has concluded, you can return to your seat. We'll begin with Collins Ormuli. When nominated in January 2019, Mr. Ormuli held the role of Detective Inspector with the Criminal Investigation Unit of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. His nomination form read, Collins upholds the mission of the RCIPS by working with and for our community to detect and reduce criminality, which undoubtedly makes the Cayman Islands safer. Mr. Ormuli is a tenacious investigator who, for over 20 years, has worked tirelessly to reduce crime in the Cayman Islands. He passionately serves, maintains confidentiality, is always polite and courteous, and continuously strives to be a consummate professional. Ladies and gentlemen, Collins Ormuli.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve the mankind, to protect life and property, and to investigate criminal activities. In Criminal Investigation Department, which is CID, also known as CID, my role here is to determine whether an offense has been committed and what needs to be investigated by the detective. We also do the follow-up by putting files together for the DPP's office and then from DPP's office to the court. Here in Criminal Investigation Department, we investigate complex cases. Cases like murder, robbery, manslaughter, sexual offenses, wounding, GBH, all those different cases we investigate, and we have set of detectives that actually we assign to each cases for them to look into it. Also burglary, we investigate burglary because, as you know, burglary is one of the big issue for us here in the Cayman Islands. We have detectives that actually work on those cases. As a detective in the Criminal Investigation Department, one of my duties is we work with the outside agency, multi-agencies. We have multi-agencies approach whereby we get a request from the outside, from overseas in regards to some investigation we hear, be able to assist them and put them through to the right. And we get good results. Majority and make Cayman proud. They constantly come in. And also the relationship between us here with the other agencies, both locally and overseas, are very tremendous. Receiving the DG award is an honor. It's a big honor for me, especially being the first person for the year 2019. It's a very critical honor to receive that award. And sometimes you walk and you don't really realize that people watching. And by receiving an award, give you the motivation for you to move forward, to continue to do what you're doing, and also to continue to help people. And as I said, I really appreciate giving me the opportunity to serve the people of the Cayman Islands, and I will continue to do my best.
Next up, Simone Mamby. When nominated in February 2019, Ms. Mamby held the role of Human Resources Manager with Customs and Border Control. Simone was described as someone who uses every interaction as an opportunity to improve the perception of her department. Her integrity and diligence in serving CBC speaks to her inspiration and confidence to build both ability and credibility. She understands the value of rallying the team to boost performance and recruiting the right personnel who share the guiding principles of the department. Ladies and gentlemen, Simone Mamby.
I'm the HR manager for the Customs and Border Control Department. Honestly, when it comes to customer service, and it's the same approach I have when it comes to being world-class civil service, I am just following the examples set by my family and my Christian faith. So my mother, my aunt, my uncles, my father, they are hardworking individuals. They are individuals who believe in doing their best, giving their best. They also acknowledge we're humans, so we're going to make mistakes. But the key thing is that you acknowledge your mistake, you take responsibility, and then you do your best not to do that over again. So when I first became a Christian, I actually didn't like the word Christian. I shunned away from it because I knew I was going to make mistakes. I knew I was going to bump my toe and trip. And of course, when you have that label, when you say you want to be world class, when you say you want to be a Christian, when you say that I excel at giving customer experience, you know, you're now put in the spotlight. Yeah. So any little error you make sometimes is it's highlighted, you know, and it's picked at. But the thing about it, and it's the same thing with customers, when you apologize and you do your best to correct and then, you know, do that little extra. And I think that's all people want. Like, you know, they accept when you make mistakes, but it's what you do after. And I think that is what it is, giving excellent customer service, being world class, and being a Christian, which is always striving for excellence and your best. Someone who delivers world class, someone who excels in giving customer experience. I think when it comes to human resources, people think that automatically, you know, that's what your role is. You make the lives of those you serve better. And that is true, and that's what it is for a civil servant. For me, I've always tried to judge each situation fairly, put myself in person's shoes, and of course working within laws and regulations. And when I see that there's an area for opportunity for development or growth, I try to be a champion. So just always striving for my best for others and myself. The word or the phrase world class and world class civil service means to me, as a body, we're striving for excellence in our best. In everything that we're doing, we're giving 100, we're being genuine, we're being sincere, we're being people of our word. Where we see that there's area that we need to be champions for the community, for an individual, we're doing that. We are making changes to regulations and laws where needs be. We're putting initiatives in place where it's going to make the lives of those we serve better. Looking at our processes, you know, as far as in the workplace, how can we do better, be better, considering the world we're living now or the world that we're going to be facing 5 years from now. For me, a world-class CBC 5 years from now is one that is truly an intelligence-led organization, one that the entire department, when it comes to talent, when it comes to skill, when it comes to training, we are top-notch. In fact, we are the pace setters, not only just in the Caribbean, but in the world. And the way that I see how I contribute to that is ensuring that the new talents that we onboard are at the level that we're expecting for 5 years from now, not where we're at now. It's ensuring that the talent that we have now, that they are trained and upskilled to reach where we need to be. It's being part of, sitting at the table when we discuss about technology, not looking at technology that's just present now, but investigating technology that's being developed, that way we're really getting the best out of our money. So being forward thinkers, being a part of that change, being a change champion. So that's how I see CBC being 5 years from now, being world class, and my contribution to that.
Joanne Cox. When nominated in March 2019, Ms. Cox held the role of personal assistant to the Grand Court Judge of the Judicial Administration. In her nomination form, it was explained that Joanne is passionate about interacting with people, being helpful, and delivering the best customer service possible. The judge she serves indicated that her ability to communicate is first class. She takes great pride in her work and holds herself to the highest standards. Joanne is a natural fit in her role, performs beyond expectations, and is known for greeting others with a big smile. Ladies and gentlemen, Joanne Cox.
I've always been in the same sort of role where I've had to communicate with different people from different walks of life. So when I was in the UK, I worked with magistrates and attorneys, prosecutors, probation officers, members of the public, and the same in this case here. Working with a judge, I obviously see members of the public and attorneys. So it's a similar role. The role that I play is very much one on the front line, as you would say, because people come here, they don't necessarily want to be here, but they come here and if they're treated calmly, efficiently and fairly, then that's the best we can do. I particularly like working with the judge, especially with her judgments, preparing judgments. It's very satisfying to then see the final result on the website for all to see. I also particularly like getting involved in the listing of her cases, scheduling, and that involves liaising with attorneys and the listing officer and making sure that everyone has what they need ready for the case to progress.
Joelle Burke. When nominated in April 2019, Mr. Burke held the role of Chief Financial Officer within the Ministry of Community Affairs. In nominating him, it was explained that Joelle is passionate about change, especially when change will enhance services, motivate staff, and empower people. Mr. Burke was described as a natural leader who has a strong commitment to doing the right thing, which helps to strengthen internal controls. There are some auditors in the room who are just like, right now. Joelle sets the bar high, but his humbleness allows him to meet people where they are at and help them to achieve their goals. Ladies and gentlemen, Joelle Burke.
Chief officer called a meeting on the first floor. I thought it was just a corporate announcement or a staffing update, but when the deputy governor walked in the room, I realized, okay, this is not a regular announcement. This is actually for Employee of the Month. When the chief officer started reading the attributes and characteristics of the successful awardee, I started reflecting in my mind and thinking, hey, this sounds a lot like me. And sure enough, a few minutes later, I was announced as a successful recipient. So to be recognized in front of my colleagues, it was a memorable day for me. First and foremost, I would consider myself to be a natural leader, a motivator, and an enabler in the ministry. My substantive role as Chief Financial Officer of the ministry, I am the Senior Financial Advisor to the Chief Officer of all areas under her remit, which include the Needs Assessment Unit, Children and Family Services, and the Gender Affairs Unit. Under my remit, I oversee operations of the Finance Unit. I prepare the biannual budget, I do the annual audits, and also I uphold a strong culture of corporate governance. As another part of my job, I am the acting chairman of the Housing Repairs Committee. For those of you who may not know, the Premier via transfer payment has enabled the Ministry of Community Affairs to provide housing services for those who are considered most vulnerable in the community. For example, this year we were allocated $1.6 million to assist 36 clients. And for those of you who don't know, our clients can either be elderly or also young families. When you go on site visits and you see the deplorable conditions that our people are living in, we have a lot of people here who are suffering. When the project is finished and you see the sense of empowerment, you see that restored sense of dignity on their face, it makes you realize that, hey, we're not just coming to work each and every day just to push paper, just to do a job. We are really here to empower people and also to enhance their lives. For me, what I like the most about my job is actually the people aspect of it. I like coming to work every day and knowing that I have an entire ministry of people that look to me for guidance and for support each and every day. As a leader, how I enable my staff to be the best version of themselves is first and foremost leading by example. I am a very driven leader. I set goals and I constantly work towards them each and every day. To facilitate my staff's professional development, I encourage them to take time in the morning to focus on their studies and then work the time back. So for me as a leader, it's quite empowering to know that you can come in and take people as they are and help them believe in themselves, believe in what they could be one day, and actually have an active role in allowing them to reach their goals. How my role contributes to a world-class civil service is in the following areas. In the area of customer service, I'm a part of a core team who is reviewing the needs assessment unit processes and working towards enhancing the customer service offering. Customers will be able to access their services online, which will also tie in quite nicely with the e-government mandate. My involvement bolsters a strong governance framework and fiscal responsibility. For the chief officer to be able to make those key strategic decisions, she needs information to be reported to her in a timely manner. By me shortening the process it takes to report on budget versus actual expenditure to her, she's now able to make decisions in a much more timely manner. I believe talent development is a commitment and a conscious investment into human capital. The actions that we take today will shape a better tomorrow for the civil service, ensuring that I do what I can to work towards a civil service of tomorrow that we can all be proud of.
Wow, we're 4 videos in, and I do not envy you, Deputy Governor. What a difficult decision. Jasmine Miles. At the time of her nomination in May 2019, Ms. Miles held the role of Facilities Coordinator with the Facilities Management Department. It was explained in Jasmine's nomination form that her traits foster positivity within her department, and she always displays a high degree of professionalism and consistently delivers an outstanding customer experience. Ms. Miles is naturally a people's person. She is trustworthy, reliable, and committed to her role, the department, and the Cayman Islands government as a whole. Jasmine's nominator added that if they could use one word to describe her, it would be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Miles.
I'm Facilities Coordinator for the Facilities Management Department. I deal with the upkeep of the building, purchasing of toners, consumables, janitorial supplies. I also deal with the upkeep of the CIEC. I do telephone infrastructure, so the change, remove, adds, modifications of the telecom system, adding of extensions, different stuff. I do the Civic Center bookings. I just recently created a booking system for the Civic Center bookings to make it a little bit easier for the public to book things online themselves, because previously they were going through our department, having to call and wait for us to respond and different things. So now it's pretty much self-sufficient for the public. They can go on and book themselves for the 7 civic centers across the island. I would say my role contributes to developing a world-class civil service by providing the resources to the building. I do making sure that the printer's working, there's consumables for the printer, the bathrooms are clean, the office spaces are clean, and people have what they need to complete their daily duties. If the building is happy and comfortable in their workspace and their work environment, we do spend majority of our time here. I think that makes them happy in their role, and they'll just do better at performing in their jobs. What I like about my job is that no day is the same. And that sounds very cliche, but literally no day is the same. We come in and it's very hard for me to make a list of my day-to-day duties because a lot of things come up very ad hoc. Like I'll make a list, which I've kind of been doing since I started here. I have a little book that I write things down, and it almost never goes the way that I want it to, but I like that because it's not routine. And I'm not going to get tired of coming in and knowing what's coming up and, oh, I have to do this and do that. And of course we have our tasks that you will have to do and you know that are routine, but I like that things pop up ad hocly and it challenges me on a daily basis. I would say my department makes the lives of those we serve better, pretty much by making things easier for not only the people in the building, but the public. Like I said, the public, I created a booking system for the public last year, and I think once we made it self-sufficient, it helped them that they didn't have to wait on us to get back to them, because we're all really busy, and the public really shouldn't have to wait, but also we have jobs to do, right? And then with the building, I would say that it makes their lives easier because they don't have to bring their own toilet paper to work or their own paper and their own consumables and have to worry about those things. So once we're providing to them, the only thing they have to worry about is doing their jobs and focusing on the public and completing their tasks. I would say that our department's role impacts something in the future communities by providing more opportunities for smaller businesses. We do a lot of bid tenders for different projects and various things. And I think that it would provide some good opportunity for smaller businesses to get incorporated in a lot of the projects that we're doing and expanding on themselves.
Malcolm Hurlston. When nominated in June 2019, Mr. Hurlston held the role of enumerator with the Cayman Islands Department of Tourism. In his nomination form, Malcolm was described as a committed and passionate team player within the research unit. Malcolm's passion drives him to do more, and he always gives all of himself to his tasks. Mr. Hurlston has risen to the challenge of assisting management in their goal of continuing to publish quality data and analysis reports, and he accomplishes this with a winning attitude and smile. He has further been described as kind and dedicated, and is someone that his colleagues take great pleasure in working with. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm Hurlston.
I was definitely surprised. It wasn't something I expected, but it's always good to be recognized for your work. And I can definitely say, working here at the Department of Tourism, that they do have a great teamwork ethic, and you'll always feel like a team here. So even though I was recognized for it, I definitely do give the props and respects to my team. Generally what myself and Miss Cindy do is we go out to the ports of entry, so the airport or the cruise port. We meet up with our visitors and we'll present them with a tablet. On the tablet we have a visitor's exit survey, so we collect all sorts of data, expenditure, rating the different attractions they attend, their accommodations. And after we get all that information, bring it back, we give it to the research analyst, and we sit down, we look at the different trends, we look at exactly what they're spending their money on, what do they like, what do they don't like, because obviously we need this information to help us improve in all sectors. And so it's great to see my work manifest itself out there in the real world, and it's just great to understand what goes on behind the scenes. To me, exceptional customer service means going above and beyond the first question. So, if somebody does ask me a question and I don't necessarily know the answer, then you help them, you guide them along. And I've been involved in customer service for the past 7 years in various departments within government. And it generally does bring joy to my heart to understand that my effort and my time and everything I've done has helped my customer walk away at the end of the day. With the visitors now, they give me a lot of information, but the way you interact with them depends how exactly they give you that information. So if you give them a nice, warm, and Cayman kind welcome, they're gonna want to help us. They're gonna want to say, this is how the Cayman Islands can improve. This is how we think you can draw more people in. And that is definitely, to me, what matters most. Definitely my contribution to making our civil service a world-class civil service would be the information that we gather, the quality of the information that we gather rather, is detrimental. It is so important to how the Department of Tourism moves forward, not only this year, but the years coming. The information that we get helps us understand, number one, why people want to come here, and number two, why they want to spend the money here. And it's always good to have a refreshing viewpoint from the outside. And obviously, once you get that outside perspective, you know what you have to do internally to continue to shine and be, a world-class civil servant.
Nadira Lord. Nadira Lord was nominated in July 2019 when she held the role of FOI analyst with the Freedom of Information Unit. Her nomination form outlined that Ms. Lord has always maintained a very high level of professionalism and an engaging, positive, and winning attitude while carrying out her duties. She problem solves, is creative, and is solutions-driven. There is no job too great or too small for Nadira, and she always manages to serve with a smile on her face, epitomizing professionalism, care, and passion. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadira Lord.
I am the Freedom of Information Analyst within the Information Rights Unit in the Cabinet Office. And in my role, I assist my colleague, Ms. Jaria Barton, who's the coordinator of the Information Rights Unit. Together, we train and we assist information managers in the Freedom of Information law and the data protection law as well, providing any assistance we can and any training and support that we can to our information managers. The opportunities that I've had here in the Cabinet Office have greatly assisted me in contributing to a world-class civil service. Whilst I am the FOI analyst, I've had some fantastic opportunities assisting the protocol unit, as well as the Office of the Premier, the Legislative Assembly with events and functions, which I thrive on. I love it, and it's probably a throwback from my days in our Cayman Islands government office in the United Kingdom. I love the events. This particular award was granted after a very challenging couple of weeks. We had a trade summit and some pre-JMC meetings here in Cayman with lots of heads of different governments, and it was just an unfortunate round of circumstances where we had colleagues falling under different personal circumstances one after the other, and we didn't have too many hands on deck, and so I did what we do in the Cabinet Office. You jump in and you fix it and keep things going, make it work. I love that in my job I have an opportunity to make an impact on the people I work with. So it's not just the people I work with, but my community as well. I think I have a very unique, very special role where I have opportunities that I wouldn't necessarily have in other areas of government. So I see people under different circumstances, some happy, some probably not so happy. And whatever I can do to assist them, that's what I want to do. I'm very proud of where I work. It's actually an honor and a privilege to work for government, especially within the Cabinet Office. And it's a very unique role, and I really do appreciate it. So as an FOI analyst, I have an opportunity every single day to make an effort to try and make the lives of those we serve better, whether it's our own information managers or members of the public, if they have a query about FOI, if perhaps they've met a hiccup or something they didn't understand. I have an opportunity to jump in. I speak to members of the public every day, not from just here in Grand, but from the BRAC as well, and overseas calls as well. So whatever I can do to assist them, I'm very happy to do it. This spreads out, and I'm so grateful to work in an environment like the Cabinet Office under the support of Mr. Samuel Rose, our Cabinet Secretary, because he fosters and encourages the spirit of community mindedness and helping others and serving as best we can, where we can. And so I'm able to assist as well with the Deputy Governor's 5K challenge on an annual basis, and that is something that I enjoy doing as well. Looking forward, I hope to continue on this path of being able to assist with protocol events and national events. I enjoy making our government, our country look good on a national stage or any stage really. It doesn't have to be, a big grand event either. But whatever I can do quietly behind the scenes as well, I'm very happy to do that. If I can have the opportunity, if I'm blessed to continue working with Deputy Governor's 5K and raising funds for these amazing causes that help our community, I would love to do that. It's something I've always enjoyed doing. I think it's something you're raised with, and if I can foster that in my children, that they can look to me and say, oh, my mom did it, and it's something I want to continue doing, I'd be so proud of them.
DG, the plot thickens. I don't know how you slept this weekend. Shanika Moore. When nominated in August 2019, Ms. Moore held the role of the Needs Assessment Officer with the Needs Assessment Unit. Ms. Moore's nominator explained that she effectively assists her clients by promoting empowerment for an improved quality of life. Shanika provides guidance and encouragement in order to help her clients succeed and overcome the barriers they face. She also ensures her customers are provided with exceptional service and respect, regardless of their circumstances. Shanika gives her best to all people she comes in contact with and goes out of her way to assist. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanika Moore.
As a needs assessment officer, we provide assistance for Caymanians to determine their eligibility for financial need, whether it's long-term or temporary services. We deal with the people who are most vulnerable. We deal with the persons who sometimes are the backbone of our country, in that they're usually our elderly people, those persons who aren't able to help themselves, and we show as a community that we're willing to ensure that they're being taken care of. So from the minute someone walks in the door to the minute they receive the assistance, and they continue on in their life either being able to take care of themselves, or if they have to be dependent on us, we're showcasing the fact that we're a world-class civil service through the work that we do. Directly, we provide what they need, whether that's food or get in contact with another service offered by another government department. I mean, sometimes we just act as liaison between the person and the other facility that can provide that service. But I mean, directly, we give them what they need. Many people come in here, they might fall on hard times, they might have been doing well before. Some persons aren't able to take care of themselves because of disabilities. So we're directly impacting those persons' lives by, simply put, getting them what they need when they need it. We really work hard. We take our job very seriously. And we feel for our community. A lot of the times, I think sometimes it might seem that the people we're dealing with might view that we're in a better position than they are, and we might not be able to connect or to understand. But we take a lot of steps to ensuring that we do, and that we do care. And because we care, that's why we chose this role. We decided to work here. We decided to be a part of that type of change, just because we do value it. So I think that's something that sometimes gets lost. And we value also educating the public. So we don't only want to know that you're coming in because you have a need, but we want to also show you another way out.
Wow, haven't the first 8 candidates just been absolutely amazing? I think we should give them a round of applause. 4 more to go, and I'm sure they're equally as amazing. Next up, Lisa, welcome. When nominated in September 2019, Ms. Welcome held the role of personal assistant and office manager within the Ministry of Community Affairs. Ms. Welcome was described as being a shining example of what it means to deliver an outstanding customer experience. She consistently executes tasks to a high quality standard, is reliable, hardworking, diligent, and honest, all while being pleasant, helpful, and caring. Lisa has made the civil service a lifelong choice as she is passionate about doing her part, and when necessary, she goes above and beyond in her duties to ensure the betterment of the government and the country as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Welcome.
My key responsibilities in the ministry are that I'm responsible for providing administrative support to the chief officer and other senior managers within the Ministry of Community Affairs. I'm also responsible for ensuring that office equipment are maintained and operational, and that supplies are readily available for staff to carry out their roles effectively. I am also the FOI manager for the Ministry of Community Affairs and oversee the file management system. One of my key responsibilities in the ministry is to oversee the administration of the Seamen and Veterans Benefit, which have over 900 recipients. I take great pride in providing good customer service to our clients, most of whom are the elderly or the most vulnerable in our society. Customer service is one of the 5 goals of the strategic plan for the civil service. Therefore, whether we are dealing with a client on the telephone or in person, whether it's a company or an individual, an adult or a child, we are engaged and motivated to help them. Administrative support staff are often the face of the organization. Therefore, providing excellent customer service is important to me. As I often say, we are the oil that keeps the engine running. Since we are often involved with the daily operations of the organization, the diversity of working in a ministry, you get exposed to so many different areas, and this is what keeps me engaged, as no 2 days are the same. My ministry helps people. People come to us when they are facing hardship. Therefore, we work with them to provide services to help them out of their current situation. Therefore, there are often times when someone will come to the ministry seeking assistance with just completing an application for the Seaman's benefit. However, in discussions with them, I'm able to determine that they may require other services or that there may be something going on at home, and I will refer them to other agencies or departments such as the Department of Children and Family Services, the Needs Assessment Unit. Sometimes I refer them to other organizations and NGOs so that they can get help. People know me, they've heard about me, and they are confident that I'm able to help them. So I'm happy that since I have been overseeing the Seamen's and Veterans ex gratia benefits, that payments have increased by $400 per month. This is a 72% increase, which will enhance the lives of the most vulnerable, the disabled, the elderly, veterans, and seamen, which will help them to become self-sufficient.
Charlene Howell Lichmore. Mrs. Howell Lichmore was nominated in October 2019 when she held the role of Human Resources Executive with the portfolio of the Civil Service. Her nominator described her as a very versatile one-person HR machine who cares deeply for the team she supports and the clients she serves. A noteworthy example of Charlene's delivery of an outstanding customer experience was that she was the driving force behind the Second Chances program, which is a program designed to assist Caymanians with prior convictions reintegrate into the workforce. The passion Charlene exudes for her work makes it obvious that she cares not only for the success of POCS and the Cayman Islands government, but about the overall success of the Cayman Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlene Howell Lichmore.
I'm the HR executive for the portfolio of the Civil Service. I provide HR support to the portfolio as well as the various departments that fall under the portfolio. Across government, I can provide support on recruitment-related matters, or at times I'll get involved in employee relations matters when they seek my advice. I would say the greatest impact of my role is in the area of recruitment and working with managers who are trying to find staff for their departments, identifying suitable people to bring into the organization who can help create that world-class civil service. So it's by bringing others in that I'm able to contribute to that. One of the best parts about my job is getting to make contact with a candidate and let them know they're the successful candidate. So emailing out their offer letter, calling them, telling them they're the person who has the job. The flip side of that is I also need to sometimes impart bad news, so that's not so enjoyable, but a necessary part of the job. And in 2018, Miss Gloria asked me if I'd like to be involved in the Second Chances program, which was really of interest to me because I had previously been a volunteer with North Ward Prison for a number of years. And so the opportunity to get to help former inmates reintegrate into the workforce was something that I was really interested in and was happy that I was able to become involved in that program. In addition to the Second Chances program that our department operates, we work with the new employee orientation process, so we're helping onboarding staff who are joining the organization, welcoming them into the civil service. And so that's an area where we get to make changes and improvements as we see where we can adjust the program. We also are responsible for the HR IRIS system and job evaluation. So those are areas that there's a lot of project work going on at the moment. For the system requirements, we're upgrading the HR systems. From the job evaluation standpoint, that's now something that also applies to the broader public service. So our department's been involved in that project as well. So we're working in ways that impact lives, not just across the civil service, but if probably family members of those who work within the civil service as well. I attend a lot of the high school job career fairs, get to meet high school students who are looking at what their career possibilities are going forward, and it's always interesting to engage with them and find out what they're interested in, and then try and attract them to the civil service as an employer. So getting their resume, trying to identify a suitable placement for them with an internship opportunity, just to get their interest in, and for them to be able to see the range of roles that are available within the civil service. We have over 1,000 different jobs within the civil service, and we are the largest employer on the island. So if we can get to them early, get them interested from an early age, hopefully when they are finishing their post-secondary education, they'll look at the civil service as a viable option for their future employer.
Jaria Barton. When nominated in November 2019, Ms. Barton held the role of Accounts Officer 2 with the Judicial Administration. In her nomination form, Jaria was described as an ambassador to the organization and a dedicated employee who wishes to see her entity reach its full potential. Ms. Barton works exceptionally well with her team and has embraced innovative practices to provide better services to customers and staff alike. Ms. Barton has embraced the vision of the leadership team and has demonstrated that she has exceptional leadership potential. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaria Barton.
My job is an accounts officer with the judicial admin. I'm normally behind the scenes. I normally process the AR and the AP for the finance department. And a part of my journey this year has been to innovate and develop the processes of the judicial administration. My role contributes to having a world-class civil service is because we're innovators, we're visionaries, and that's our job, to continue to offer a service, or I should say an efficient and effective service to our community and our clients. There are so many things that I can point out that I love about this job that I'm in. First of all, I am surrounded by some of the most amazing visionaries and innovators in the finance sector. And another great thing is that we get to have a voice. As a team, we have a voice. We can go to our boss with the flaws from within the department that we see within the organization, and we can get creative feedback on it and make it a reality. My job is going to continue to impact the community because we're heading into the phase 2 of the maintenance project, where we're going to have our clients are going to be able to pay online for the maintenance. They won't have to rush to come to the department to make payments. They'll be able to do it from the convenience of their homes. So I am in the process of working on all of those stuff. So we have some great things in store for the future for judicial admin. We have so much in store for our customers and the community, for our future perspectives to making it a world-class civil service. We have in place, because I'm not going to try to give away too much, but we have an excellent database that we're currently working on. It's going to be customized towards our judicial system here in the Cayman Islands. And I am a part of that team. I'm a part of the change that is going to take place within the judicial admin in the next few years. And I'm happy to be a part of it, to make the lives of the community better.
And last but certainly not least, Amber Combe. When nominated in December 2019, Ms. Combe held the role of probation officer graduate with the Department of Community Rehabilitation. In describing Amber, it was said that she focuses on reducing recidivism by working directly with offenders. Amber far exceeds her individual job responsibilities by joyfully extending support to others to ensure clients receive the best service possible. Amber holds herself to a high ethical standard and is a major contributor to the positive working environment that has been established within her entity. Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Combe.
The
The purpose of the civil service is to better the lives of those we serve. As a probation officer, my role is to help clients that come into the department improve their circumstances to lessen their likeliness to reappear in court. Every person has different experiences in their lives. Whenever I interact with my clients, I tell them that I wear two hats. One is as a referee. So football is very popular in Cayman. The referee, if you do something wrong, calls you out, may give you a red card. If one of my clients does something wrong, I have to relay that information to the court. In contrast, I also like to wear the hat of a coach. You know what? Your coach, if you do something wrong, your coach is going to say, okay, get up. How can we do this? How can we develop your skills? What can we change to better your performance or your circumstances? I pride myself in going above and beyond to help my clients because I know in totality it's going to better the Cayman Islands and our society as a whole. Sometimes I've gone out of hours to accommodate my clients. I've had to see clients and do psychoeducational programs with them on my own. When I think about a world-class civil service, I recognize the passion, the integrity, and the professionalism that the Deputy Governor has encouraged us to embody in our job. I feel very passionate about what I do, and I feel like that has driven me to perform above expectations at times. I find great integrity in doing my job and representing my country as a probation officer and having that positive impact in persons' lives and obviously making the lives of those we serve better. I feel like that is what makes the Cayman Islands Civil Service world class. As a probation officer, we conduct risk need assessments using the LSCMI Level of Service Case Management Inventory tool, and we identify criminogenic factors and different risk need factors that contribute to offending behaviors. We identify areas in persons' lives where they could benefit from the support of a probation officer, and sometimes it's not very black and white. Sometimes you have to incorporate a number of different services to benefit the client, and I pride myself in being able in developing my skill set where I've worked with different teams, partner agencies to ensure that my client always gets the appropriate services to reduce their risk level in relation to reoffending. On a whole, I feel working with my clients and ensuring that they are positive, contributing members to society has given me great self-fulfillment. I've always reaped internal rewards when it comes to seeing improvement with my clients. I'm very intrinsically motivated to do my job. I really enjoy being able to see clients that I've worked with change for the better. Cayman is very small, and whenever I see a client out on the road and they're doing well, I feel very proud to know that I had some sort of impact, that I was perhaps the catalyst that made them make a positive change in their lives. On a larger scale, I think contributing to a better society, a safer society, where we can all live together in peace and harmony, I find that to be very rewarding for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we've all heard of the Fantastic Four, but give a round of applause to the terrific, tremendous, talented 12. It's clear that these 12 exceptional employees of the month operate with passion, integrity, and professionalism, with their focus being to assist the Cayman Islands government in serving Cayman's community. And all of this in an effort to achieve world-class status. As we celebrate the 12 nominees tonight, a quote comes to mind, and it is, "Work hard in silence, let success be your noise." If success is our noise, there is a lot of noise in this room tonight. I now invite His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper, to come to the front of the stage. Each nominee is asked to come forward as I call your name. I will ask, given the size of the stage, that the first 6 nominees come up on the stage and stand here, and then the last 6, if you could stand in front of the stage, that would be appreciated. Once you have accepted your award, please stand in line, as I just outlined, and await the announcement of the 2019 Employee of the Year. We begin with Collins Ormuli. Mr. Ormuli, if you could join us on stage, please. Simone Mamby. Joanne Cox. Joelle Burke. Jasmine Miles. Malcolm Hurlston. Nadira Lord. Shanika Moore. Lisa Welcome. Charlene Howell Lichmore. Jaria Barton. And Amber Combe. Thank you, Your Excellency, Governor Roper. We're honored to have you participate in tonight's ceremony. At this time, I wish to acknowledge and thank Horatio Esteban of Esteban Gallery for handcrafting the lovely Caymanite catboats and paperweights that were awarded tonight. Mr. Esteban is truly talented, as evidenced by his meticulous and unique works of art. I now invite to the stage Chief Officer Macfield Nixon to announce the name of the 2019 Employee of the Year.
Wow. So this is truly the difficult part of the evening. The DG makes the really tough call, and then he sends me up on stage to communicate it. You all didn't know that about him. He has the sleepless nights. I have the hot mic. So what a tremendous evening once again. Please join me in giving a round of applause once again to the terrific, talented 12. So as you can see, these are amazing individuals who really live our values of passion, integrity, and professionalism. They have such a deep understanding of what it means to make lives better and what it is to exemplify our vision of being world class. They demonstrate in so many diverse ways how one individual can really make a difference, whether it is in helping to transform access to our judicial systems, whether it is in providing the type of management insights that can allow our civil service to make intelligence-based decisions, either from gathering information from our arriving tourists, or whether it's in providing financial analysis to aid our ministries in making informed decisions. They help attract other world-class individuals because they're on the front lines of recruitment, bringing in future civil servants, or greeting each and every one of them in orientation as they join our organization, making sure that everyone who joins our ranks understands our purpose and our vision. These individuals get in early in the morning before most of us arrive at work, and they make sure that our facilities are spotless so that we can go about happy to perform our jobs without having to give any thought to all the work that's happening in the background to make sure that we have the tools and the facilities we need to deliver our services. These individuals are not just combating crime, but also the fear of crime, and they are committed to making sure that they see every human being as an individual deserving of respect, but also that they are keeping our entire community safe so that we can lay our heads on our pillow at night and fear not. These individuals are helping some of our most vulnerable, not just in providing financial assistance, but providing them a means that they can get out of a pattern of social assistance, regaining their dignity. These are amazing individuals. So how do you choose just one? The DG had a tough choice again this year. I just want to say, you world-class people, you don't make it easy. If I had one complaint, you're all so exceptional that this is really difficult. But tonight's recipient of the 2019 Employee of the Year Award stood out not just because that individual is exceptional, because as you can see, we have many exceptional people in our organization, and we are so blessed. 2019 award recipient also stood out because, like so many of our people who paved the way for the successes that we today enjoy, this individual exemplifies humility. This individual will do whatever is needed in the moment to make lives better. This individual does not heed the description on their job note to say where their duties begin or end, and they will rise to meet every need that's demonstrated within that organization. This individual has been on the front line of doing what our governor and premier have talked about at press conference after press conference. Remember those that are most vulnerable. Remember those that have paved the way so that we can enjoy the successes we have today, and continue to pay those individuals respect, continue to advocate for them, continue to keep them safe. This individual, despite the job title that the individual had, nearly gave it away. This individual has found a way to care for Cayman's veterans, seamen, and sailors. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019 Employee of the Year, please join me in welcoming Miss Lisa Welcome. DG, over to you. And be warned, Lisa, it's very heavy. Miss Welcome, don't put that down so quickly. If all of the nominees could gather at the front of the stage for a group photograph with the newly announced winner, congratulations. I also invite His Excellency, the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper, and the Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service to join the nominees and the winner for the photograph. And if we could invite Lisa's Chief Officer, Ms. Teresa Etcheniki, to join. We need you in the picture. And DG, I'm made to understand that you
forgot to give her perhaps the most important part of her prize package. So if you could return to the stage. Lisa, stay put. Stay put. I now invite to the stage the 2019 Employee of the Year to deliver brief remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I am certainly shocked at this, although all day everyone's been telling me to prepare remarks, and I have not done so. Because I was certain that I would not be standing here this evening. As there are so many other worthy civil servants who work equally as hard as I do. So I would like to thank my former supervisor, Mr. Joelle Burke, who nominated me for this, and who is also a contender here this evening. I would also like to thank my chief officer, Ms. Teresa, and the staff in the Ministry of Community Affairs for their support, my family, friends, and partner. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all of the finalists and to our new Employee of the Year. We thank everyone who played a part in making tonight possible, and in particular to the Honorable Deputy Governor for breathing life into this program and keeping it alive, Mr. Eric Nicholson for singing both the national anthem and the national song, Mr. John Bothwell for offering the prayer, the Marriott Beach Resort for allowing us to use this beautiful venue for something other than isolation. Special thanks to Sasha Rogers, who was a great help. The Government Information Services for producing the videos, assisting with providing photos, and designing the souvenir programs. They are an awesome group of talented civil servants. Special mention must be made to Stefan Johnson, Tina Ebanks, and Francesca Hammond. Mr. Peter Bodden of the Public Works Department for transporting supplies, tow the venue. It also says from, but he hasn't done that yet. Save the Date AI Rentals for coordinating the decorations. Special mention to Samantha Grundy. Mr. Horatio Esteban of Esteban Gallery for creating the Caymanite Awards. Miss Dinah Clark of 3D Imprint for producing the awards for the Moment of Magic and the Ministry of Employment and Border Control. Ms. Larvalee Parcell of Print Tech for printing the souvenir programs. Staff in the amazing portfolio that I now happily call my work home, the portfolio of the civil service, capably led by the amazing and talented Gloria Macfield-Nixon. And finally, to all of you for coming tonight to support the nominees. Before we disperse, the photographer has asked that the 12 nominees assemble at the stairs for a photograph. And finally, I've been told there's still food and drinks available, so you're encouraged to stay and mingle and have a little more to drink if that's what you feel like doing. Thank you all. It's been an amazing night.